If my wife and I have kids that turn out half as great as yours, we'll be in for a really lucky life. And to tonight's inductees, I can't thank you enough for asking me to be a part of such a special ceremony. Everyone knows me, knows I have a big mouth and I like to talk a lot, but the day that Kelsey Wallach walked into the social studies office and asked me to speak, for the first time in my life, I was actually speechless. And that takes a lot. You should have seen me on my wedding day. I really can't express how grateful I am to be here tonight to do your address. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you. You guys all mean so much to me. I'm just honored to play a small part in your life journey. So, speaking of this journey, so anyone who has ever taken any one of my classes or has been around me or been in one of the clubs knows I love to tell stories. So tonight I'm not going to disappoint. Yeah, no, you don't need to again hear how I was fired from Home Depot. You already know what a tool I am. And I really didn't fit in that shed, and I really feel like nailing the speech and hammering some points home. I'm also not going to tell you once again how my only football injury came in a non-contact. Like I said, only football injury came in a non-contact football tournament where I fell over my feet, tripped over them, and broke my wrist on my 17th birthday. Let's just say I didn't play a major role in that cast. I knew you like that one. Instead, I want to share with you the story of all stories while also sprinkling in some words of wisdom based on my own experiences. I'm going to tell you about one of the most important days of my life and a day that forever changed my life. Other than July 4th, 2015, which was my wedding day a year and a half ago, and October 16th, 2011, the day that the first Wegmans opened up in Massachusetts, North Carolina. And I went there to Mango, as well as the day that the Chestnut Hill one opened up. I'm going to tell you about June 21st, 2011, which was the single most important date in my life. Why that date? Well, that was the day that I was hired here to teach at Natick High School. So 3 years prior, I found out that I was losing a job I loved in Maine and facing uncertainty of being unemployed at the age of 31. I was scared. I had applied to hundreds of school districts, sometimes scoring interviews, other times getting rejected more than a used car salesman. I also questioned how much longer I could actually teach. Those doubts were drowned out. I had set a goal for myself to positively impact as many people as I possibly could, and I was determined. Ultimately, the night before I saw a job opening at Natick, I emailed Ms. Bertucci, who was the principal at the time. She forwarded my information to the social studies department. I was called down for an interview and then hired a week later. The lessons I want to share from that experience are really what I want to build on. And I'm serious on these life lessons, and hopefully you'll take them to heart. First off, I really encourage you to turn negatives into positives. When I got laid off, I was depressed, sad, and scared when I received my layoff notification, but I was determined to let that be the single best thing that ever happened to me. And because I ended up being a teacher here, other than the day I got married, it was. Throughout my entire life, I've had to turn negatives into positives. Some of you guys who have taken my Holocaust class, I share with you that I was bullied and experienced tons of anti-Semitism growing up. So what I do, I use those experiences to teach a class on the Holocaust and use it as an avenue to prevent bullying and to educate others. I got cut for my junior year of high school track for being too slow, so I decided to stay on, be a manager, and come back my senior year and run distance. I struggled playing sports growing up, so I made marathoning a hobby, qualified for and ran Boston, and then used my love of running to help and coach others. And then rooting for a team that loses 4 straight Super Bowls and that hasn't made the playoffs since Doug Flutie was a starter. Well, I gave you 3 good examples, at least you know why my bald spot's so big. Thank you, Buffalo Bills. I've seen several of you in here turn negatives into positives and use that experience. Sorry, a little bit caffeinated, a little bit nervous. And use some of that and turn those experiences into positives. I know that Mr. Harrigan had mentioned Bashan starting Aisha's Angels, and I thought about that experience too. Some of you have lost close relatives and decided to raise money and awareness in their honor. Others in here have used your experiences of being bullied to prevent it from happening. And just recently, after racist letters and a xenophobic incident happened within the community, so many of you came together with a rally at the Commons and in the high school to send a message that Natick is accepting and it's a wonderful community. I've seen, you guys should do something like that. I have seen so many of you, and believe me, I've seen it so many times firsthand, that you guys take the lead and help each other, help other students and community members, and my hope is that you continue to hold on to the closeness that Natick is known for. Which leads me to my next piece of advice. Be persistent and take initiative. I probably wouldn't have gotten a job here had I not taken the initiative to email Ms. Bertucci as soon as I saw the job opening. Social studies, for every social studies opening, there are 200 plus applicants. Every job and every success I've earned was through a direct contact. When I misqualified for Boston by 29 seconds, I emailed, and I spent 3 years of my life trying to qualify. I emailed the race director, he said you're in. And heck, I honestly wouldn't have met my wife had I not made that first contact. I can't imagine what my past 3.5 years would have been like without her in my life. I mean that. And the doggy too. She's at home, she misses you guys. So make sure you guys don't quit, that you take initiative, that you keep persisting until you achieve what you want on your terms. 2 or 3 years ago, some of you could have never dreamed of being a captain of your sports team tonight, or had a lead role in a play, or even make National Honor Society. How many of you actually thought how many of you actually thought you might have been here tonight? I don't know. I was never inducted in National Honor Society, so I don't know. Yet here you are. And because you persisted, you fought, you took the initiative to better yourselves. Always keep that in mind as you move on to college, grad school, and your lives and careers. And in the face of hardship, stay persistent and take advantage of every opportunity you have. And that leads me to my next point. To quote former President John F. Kennedy in a speech at Amherst College in 1963, one of the last speeches he made, "Privilege is here. And with privilege goes responsibility." Each and every one of you, each and every day, I know it is a privilege to come in and teach at Natick. I realized it was a mere stroke of luck that I beat out 200 plus applicants for my position, and each day that I'm here, I take the privilege of teaching, coaching, and mentoring you all as a serious responsibility. Every day, even on my worst of days, I look forward to coming in, seeing you all, and taking on the privilege of being with you guys. You guys make such a difference in my life. And I realized that other than being a husband and potential father at some point in my life, that teaching here is one of the single most important responsibilities. By the mere fact that you all attend Natick High School, you have privileges that many in the world would give their lives for. You don't have to worry about going through metal detectors as you come to school. You have family members, teachers, and friends who care deeply about each and every one of you. You have opportunities to take classes that many will never take in college and participate in sports, extracurricular activities, and internships not readily available to most people. You live in the best state in the country and attend school a mere 15 miles from the best city in the world. Trust me on that. Despite what I might feel, that's not to say that your lives are perfect. I realize it's not easy being a teen and that you all have struggles. However, you are lucky in some way. With those privileges, you have the responsibility to help others, to make a difference, to seize the opportunity you have to make Natick and the world a better place. You are all inducted into the National Honor Society based on your leadership, character, service, and scholarship. These are characteristics not to be taken lightly nor for granted. Each and every one of you here tonight is a leader and will continue. In the next year or two, you will have the privilege to pursue higher education, to study abroad, to meet so many wonderful people from all over the country and the world. As you take advantage of these opportunities, do not forget how privileged you are and the responsibility you have to engage in civic participation, to be a friend to a stranger, to help children who are less fortunate, to volunteer. Use that privilege to make others feel privileged to have you impacted in their lives. I can tell you firsthand that there's no greater reward and it's a lot of fun. Which brings me to my final point. Enjoy the ride and always be comfortable and true to yourself no matter what people think. There's a public educator, William W. Perky, once said, "You've got to dance like no one's watching, love like you'll never be hurt, sing like there's nobody listening, and live like it's heaven on earth." Look, you guys know this. I'm a goofball. I sing off key. I dance off rhythm. And sometimes I get off more tangents in a circle. My friends know it, my coworkers know it, my family knows it, my wife knows it, and you all know it. You've seen it in my classes. I used to hate it, and I'll be honest with you. Growing up, I would have done anything to have been different, to have fit in, to have been more coordinated, hence the reason why I broke my wrist on my 17th birthday. And to be quote-unquote normal. In my late 20s, I stopped wishing I was someone else and started loving who I was, or who I am. And what happened? I traveled. I backpacked Hawaii with a close college buddy in Europe twice by myself. I ran marathons and ultimately met my best friend and ended up with my teaching job, my dream teaching job at Natick. Each and every one of you has a gift and is truly awesome, and I know that because I've seen so many of you. Embrace that awesomeness. Embrace your flaws and your strengths. Embrace the journey and expect and embrace the unexpected wild ride in front of you. Dance like no one's watching, sing like no one's listening, and love yourselves and each other. And most importantly, enjoy the ride. So the ride that I took ultimately led me to June 21st, 2011, the day I was hired to teach in the most amazing community in the world with the best students and colleagues I could ever ask for, and believe me when I say that. The lessons I learned along the ride: being persistent, turning negatives into positives, taking responsibility for the privileges I feel, and embracing on the journey are lessons hopefully you will take in life and continue to embody, even when the microphone is true, and continue to embody the National Society pillars of scholarship, leadership, character, and service. One more page. It's only a paragraph. Listen, I'm so proud of each and every one of you and feel so privileged to share your night and stage. As former head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Mark Levy used to say to his players, "Where else would you rather be?" For me, that answer is simple: here. And to quote the Rascal Flatts, "God bless the broken road that led me straight to you guys." Thanks and have a happy holiday.